On the left-hand side of these, you're gonna have these different toolbars. I'm gonna click on that. There's two little squares here, which we'll get more information on. But you can see here we have different display options. One of them is Android. That's the built-in computer. Each single one of these functions is a giant tablet as a standalone, or you could switch yourself into, and now from here, if I'm in the tablet, that icon moved down a little bit, it's down here. This is a switcher. You could direct connect to this using something that's connected from HDMI. So if you wanted to plug in a DVD player or a computer, that's all gonna run through the HDMI port again. So that's on these buttons, that left-hand side, we're looking at this little icon here. But once you're in tablet mode, this is where all the fun lives. Down at the bottom, you're gonna have some tools built in here, pre-built. The first one is a giant internet browser. Okay, it's gonna default to Google. If you click on that, you get your keyboard you can use. If you're the type of person that would like to use a built-in keyboard, we can set that up here on the side panel. It can attach to here, and you could add one to the tray, so that's something we could look into for you. But right now, we have this full web available to us, so we're just gonna search. We'll just go for fun. Okay, so say I have this site I want to work with, okay, and I want to look at it, and I'm pulling it up, and I want to work with it. I can, on any site, pick up my pen, all right, and that's going to default switch me into pen mode. And when I pick up the pen, here we get the pen toolbar. Okay, and that sweeps away all the pen markings. But as I tap on this, I get different colors. Okay, and you'll notice now I can still scroll in here, and my markings stay. They don't go with the text. You can, if I do like something and I want to remember this, I can save it. Okay, and this is going to ask you where you want to save it. You can put this in a whiteboard folder, and we'll reference that a little bit later. Okay, so anything I can mark up anywhere, you can see now that is saved to my files that is locally stored on this computer. Now to get out of this again, these little sidebars, these are my toolbars. I can go back home, or I can jump back into the internet browser here. This one here does my different internet windows. Let me put my pen down for a minute because I want to go back to just touch mode. You'll notice just like a tablet, I can swipe to close things. Just like on your phone. Some other things to take a look at, we have access to the Whiteboard software. I notice mine is set to have a dark background, but we're going to get some close-ups on these different toolbars here, because we can actually do a lot of stuff here in this Whiteboard software. And the first thing you should do, two pens. Okay, so you can have two different things happening at once in two different colors. You just have to make sure that you have double versus single indicated here to make both pens operate. We can clean that all off. We have an eraser. If I tap on the pens, we can customize what type of pen, pencil, marker, what color, so you can kind of play around with these. And again, it's looking for me to pick up my pen, so that I made it purple. Let's do a thicker purple, so you can kind of see you play around with your different pen settings there. An eraser does a spot eraser, or you can use your palm to erase. You'll notice that the background of this is a darker color. We can customize those. If we come over here to menu, you'll see here we have a theme option. So we have templates and backgrounds. The color is set to a dark by default, but you can play around with this so you find one that works for you and your class. But you also have the ability to add different themes. So if you plan to do some graphing, you could throw some different graph backgrounds up here on here, and you can use that. We'll hit OK for a moment. So now I can draw within my graph squares. I also have on some of these other themes. There's some sports backgrounds. There's a multiplication grid. There's a KWL, the 4 squares. They have all these different templates you can choose from. Definitely worth taking a look here. Moving across the bottom here, we also have some different rulers so that we can work with, and this will help, you know, so you can kind of measure and adjust. So now I'm drawing lines, you can see on here, and it's actually measuring as I'm drawing. Same with the protractor, right? I can move it and I can, this here we go. All right, and it'll measure my angles. So those are all done here at the bottom. We also have shapes that we can grab out of here. You have a shape menu, so you can select your color and style of shape, and these can be 2D or 3D. We also have table options, one of my favorite on Mindmap. At this point, before we go into Mindmap, I'm going to show you we can actually make new pages here, so I can have a clean surface. So let's throw that Mindmap back out. All right, so you can see I'm actually adjusting and working with my mind map, but I can label this way. Pretty cool, right? I just start writing. It's sensing my writing, it's labeling it in. I can use these little plus guys to add more in any direction. And then I can navigate back and forth on my different pages here. These nodules, by the way, I have a little menu on them so I can delete ones that I don't want. Another clean page. We have sticky notes down here at the bottom, which can be different colors. And those just go to the corner of your board so you can remember them and come back to them. And down here at the bottom, there's a built-in grid option if you just want some quick lines. But again, as soon as I start writing on these, it didn't quite organize my writing, but close enough. Over here on the manual, you'll also find a few other things that we can do here. We can export this to a PDF to save it. So if you want to put this into your Google Drive, so say I wanted to save this as a PDF, well, we could go into our cloud drive, and we'll make sure that your Google Drive is added in here for you, or you can just save it locally on your Whiteboard software files. That allows you, if you just save it locally, you can bring it back up the next day or another day and see what you've worked on. Let's go back into the software. And we can also just save this as a Whiteboard file, which means it's still editable again in the future. Also on our menu, on our sidebar menu here, so we're done with our Whiteboard menu. But on this little sidebar menu, you notice you have some other tools here. One is a timer. One of these is a free screen, and I'm sure you'll want to use a lot. You can turn this off and on right here. And you'll see at the top right-hand corner, you have a little lock here when it's frozen, and the little lock is going to go away. The little lock is going to go away when we tap it again. We also can pull up a stopwatch. We can pull up a spotlight. And these are adjustable. All of these things, I can make it bigger, but less clear. We have the ability to do a screen recording here. So now this is kind of interesting. So now if I want to work on this, I can say, all right, everybody, and go. So here I'm starting my timer. I'm moving around. We're saying we want to write. So I'm going to come over here to my pen. Hello. When I want to stop it, I'm going to come over here to the lower right-hand corner, hit stop, and it's going to tell me it's been saved to this file area where we can play it back and insert it in other areas. So it says, what do you want to open it? We want to open it with our video player. I'm starting my timer. I'm moving around. We're saying, we're going to write. I'm going to go over here to my pen. Hello. I have these controls for the video down here at the bottom and the whole video player. Okay, and I can get out of this by going back to the studio software or home. All right, so now say I wanted to insert that video into what we were just talking about. Let's close all this other stuff. Let's make some space. From this menu, I can import that video, some of these files that I have saved and play them.